have to remember it. Okay, that's going. Hi, chat room. You just distracting bunch of freaks. Look at that. What you got there? What's that link right there? Oh, yeah. All right. Come on. Load up. What are we doing?
I think we're going to do another Oreo.
Yeah, I think so.
Makes sense to me.
They're handy, and Daryl has them, so.
Oh my gosh, PlayStation. Tetris Ultimate is out today on PS4.
Ooh, I like Tetris.
I do too. What makes it ultimate?
Yeah. If it doesn't include all those cool Mario stuff that the old DS version did, then I'm out.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
That was the most amazing multiplayer Tetris game I ever played.
Fitting it into the thing, yeah.
We used to play that in my office I used to work in at night. Like freaks. We could have been playing Quake or something like that. No, we played Tetris on our DSs. Good times.
Well, you'll like this. It's multiplayer.
Yeah.
Simultaneous multiplayer.
All right, maybe I'll give it a look.
Yeah.
I like a good Tetris game.
Exactly.
Why not? All right, we are now recording.
Okay.
Now is the day of our discontent. Okay, here goes. I'm going to start it off, and we'll just go. We'll just do what we do. And like it or not, this is it, everybody. This is what you get. Okay, here we go. It begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, Dennys is scary at night.
Mendoza should be cast in the movie.
Don't be an idiot when it comes to proposing.
What was this year's word of the year?
Judy Blume is making books for us now.
Clooney and others are embarrassed by this hack.
Fitness Geek.
Jury duty and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
Now, a mouse is a handheld piece of hardware which is attached to your computer. It works similar to the game that you find at fairs, supermarkets, department stores, where all of the toys are inside the glass case. You have to maneuver the claw to pick up the toy inside the case. Since you cannot reach your hand inside the case, you must use the tool by maneuvering the lever. A mouse is somewhat the same. You can't reach inside the screen to move things in your computer, but you can use the mouse.
Would he be the kind to kill a girl?
The Morning Stream, the show where today is tomorrow yesterday and yesterday is tomorrow today. Tomorrow.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the program. This is TMS, the Morning Stream for Tuesday, December 16th, 2014. We're officially over the halfway mark of the month. How do you feel about that?
Officially, we have crossed into December 2.0.
Yeah, you cool with that? You're down with the passage of
I'm
time?
all right with that. I can live with that, because now it's like a train hurtling towards the great abyss of 2015, and there ain't no stopping it. We're going downhill now,
It is
folks.
very abyssful coming up here. By the way,
would you use a computer if the mouse operated like that crappy claw game at the fair?
No.
I'd be like, okay, done with computers. Thank you.
It's like, I want to use Word. Oh, I almost got Word. Oh, let me try it again.
Oh, I picked up a file. Oh, I threw it into the trash. Dang it.
Oh, shoot. I picked up Norton Antivirus by accident. That's not going to get my homework done. Yeah. It's a terrible comparison. But it was for seniors, so they did the best they could.
Oh, where's Kim Commando when you need her?
She's nowhere to be found. Actually, she's so busy right now, she seems to be all up in it now. She's all over the place. Yeah.
Commando tablet. The Commandlet.
That's right. She has her own tablet. Amazing. So, look, here's the deal. It is getting closer to the end of the year. And George Takei once said, you know George Takei?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my.
Oh, my. He once said, by the way, I never did see the book I'm supposedly have one of my cartoons in that he wrote. I still never gotten a copy of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know which one it is, or I would just go get it, but I don't know where it is. Can someone out there, we need a little research. Can someone find out which recent George Takei book, either ebook or otherwise, has my...
it's the snack bar one, right?
Yeah, the Admiral snack bar one.
Yeah.
And it's supposedly in there. They got all kinds of approval from me, had me sign like a document saying that, they could use it with my permission and all that. So I think it happened, but they never emailed back. Anyway.
Proof.
I need proof, damn it. What was I going to say? Oh, he once said, I'll never be, and I'm sure this is somebody else's quote, but I heard it from him. I'll never be younger than I am right now. It's a good point.
Wow, that's a very good point.
You know, so think about that. Everybody out there, including a 10-year-old, will never be younger than he is right now.
Yep.
An 80-year-old will never be younger than he is right now.
You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older.
Yep. And pretty soon you sound like this.
Zert.
All right.
Oh, no, not that old.
Not
Never that old.
Never that old. All right, some quick bits of information here. We mentioned it on the stream last night, but forgot to do it in the actual show. We do have Nerdtacular 2015 info. This is preliminary early info, but it is we are locked in on our dates.
Accurate.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we've had these dates actually for a while, but there was just some question as to whether for sure they were ours and all that.
Well, the contract. I had to wait for the contract to get signed. And
Now, one thing everybody keeps bugging us about for the last 2 years was, oh, this is great, this is wonderful and everything, but I wish it wasn't on the 4th of July weekend. And those are even people who came. Other people would say, oh, I would totally be able to go, but I can't because 4th of July weekend. I got this family thing I never can get out of. So
I like the fireworks in my home state.
Yes, exactly. They're so much better. So we said, sure, let's see if we can change that. So we did. It is now, here are the new dates. The dates are July, technically the full conference part, the conference part of the whole thing is the 31st and August 1st, so the weekend of the 31st. People get there early, and on Thursday there's some sort of, reception-y kind of thing like we always do. So that's the 30th. So just for poops and giggles, let's say the 30th, 31st, and 1st.
Right.
July 30th
there won't be
and 31st.
any real content on the 30th.
Well, yeah, other than you'll get to meet and hang
The
out with us.
reception and
Sure.
hugging and glad handing and
and most people come like days before that even.
a game
so.
or two of Munchkin. And
Sure. All those things are true.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little weird doing it on a weekend where you have to say that it's both July and August. I'm not used to that. It's like the 30th through the 1st.
No kidding.
It makes no sense. But those are the dates. So that should not interfere with your 4th of July plans. And to get the group rate on hotel rooms at the Snowbird Summer Resort, you're going to want to use this code, and you want to do it on the phone. You can't do it online, at least not yet. We're working with them on that. But when you get your reservations, you want to do this on over the phone with them, which you can find at snowbird.com. And the code is NERD15. You just tell them that over the phone, and they'll give you the group rate. Now, I don't have that actual rate in front of me, but they'll tell you when you call. It's not that different from last year. It's a little bit more because, the reason we did the 4th in the first place, because it saved money on all sorts of things. Sure. But enough demand was there to change it regardless of cost, so we did. So there it is. Those are your dates, July 30th through the 1st of August.
Got the clip-clop.
The clip-clop. Use the code NERD15 on the phone at snowbird.com. Call them, and you'll get the deal. And more details, obviously, as we get closer. But that is the preliminary big splash info.
Yay.
Stick it in your pocket and have it warm your crotch.
We have a date. We have a date, people.
We have a date. All right, Brian, I got some advice for you. I'd like to give it to you now freely.
Okay.
Because that's what I like to do. Brian's my friend. He's not just a co-host. He's not just a collaborator. He's a friend. So I want him to be warned about things.
Okay. All right.
Don't go to Dennys at 11:30 at night. And here's why.
Okay.
So the Mitt Romney night, the other night,
Mitt Romney night?
Yeah, we were hungry because we had eaten at like 4, done the lights downtown, some of the Christmas lights stuff you can do down there, and then we went to this concert, and that thing lasted till like almost 11 o'clock. And everybody was starving. So
Sure.
it was me.
Sure, well, cupping the genitalia of a former presidential hopeful is hard work.
It is.
It's hungry work.
It really is. So but it made everyone else so hungry too,
Sure.
Like they just heard about it and went, man, we got to eat. So me, Kim, my 2 youngest, Taylor and her new hubby, we all went to a Dennys near where their apartment was. We thought, well, that'll be easy. Then you just go right home from there. So like 11:15, 11:30 at night. I've not done that since I was in high school, where you go to like a place that shouldn't be open that late, but you go anyway.
Right.
And we go into the Dennys, and we are greeted by what I can only say looks like a Marilyn Manson roadie. She looked like the most goth chick I've seen in ages, and I thought that was a thing that was over with. I thought we were done with the whole goth thing.
No, and
she looked like Edward Scissorhands, this girl. And it's fine, whatever. Be who you want to be, man.
Sure, we've got Nerdtacular fans. We've got TMS fans who I would say are probably more in the goth realm.
Are they? Is it gothic? Is that what it is now? Or are we calling it something else? Because I just feel like it's not that anymore. I feel like that was a...
Is the term, is the whole Azrael Abyss thing, is that
I don't
gone
know.
the way of the dodo?
I don't know. I mean, when it seemed like the trend started kind of with The Cure in our day, and then it evolved into something much more like, I don't know, more Halloween-y than it used to be. And then there was a whole South Park episode about it that kind of encapsulated it for me. I don't really understand it. It was definitely a high school thing when I was going to high school, toward the tail end anyway, and then it kind of seemed like it really flourished in the 90s. But the point is this. Is there a point? What was my point? My point is she scared me just a little bit. Not because of how she looked. I don't really judge that stuff. What I judged or had a problem with is the way that she then treated us when we got there. She goes,
oh, so she was an employee.
Oh, yeah. She's the reception lady. And she goes, or the hostess or whatever.
Hostess, yeah.
And so we walk in. Speaking of claw machines, they had one there. All Dennys seem to have a claw machine. What's that about?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
That's weird.
Nothing in there that you'd ever want.
No. Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
I mean, put in a Grand Slam breakfast in a bag or something. That'd be more interesting.
Sure, let me catch some bacon. That's it. They do the claw thing. Have it just go into a big pile of bacon, and whatever you drop onto your plate, that's what you get.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. By the way, Catch Me Some Bacon is the alternate title to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but since he was barely in it, they figured they would change the name. Anyway, so reference.
Took me a second.
It's a strange reference.
Yeah,
you got to remember Kevin Bacon was in that movie for like 2 minutes.
Exactly.
So anyway, what was my point? Oh, so we come in and it's not like she went, "Hi, what's it's just 5 of you? Great, let's come on over here." Well, and it was none of that. It was, "Hey," like that. And I go, "Hi," and she goes, "Yeah, what's up, like that. She was being really like weird. And I said, "We just need a table. I guess there's 6 of us total." She goes, "Okay, I bet you there's one around here someplace. Hang on." That's how she said it. And then she went in the other room looking around for a table. Then she fought verbally with somebody who was bussing a table, like yelling at them. I don't know what that was about. Nice. It was kind of incoherent. I didn't really catch the gist of the conversation. But he slumped off looking all sad. And she came back and she goes, and her arm, you can't see this, but her arms are like way up in the air. And she goes, "All right, you're going to want to go that way." And I was like, "Oh my gosh. Is this what carnival of horrors have we walked into?" So we get sat down, and I'm also now noticing that everybody in the place is a little scary. Like all the patrons there. They're all just like coming off of their meth high, some of them. Like it looked like they were there. They were going to be there all night. It was a little bit scary. There was something off about just everybody there. And the waiter comes over, and he was great. He was super cool, but he looked like the kind of guy that knew he was working late at Dennys and knew that it sucked and was okay with it still because, hey, whatever, you got to pay the bills. And he did a great job. But that wasn't the end of it. I was hoping that was sort of the end of it.
Right.
Nick says, "I'll have a hot chocolate." Everybody else wants water. They bring out and give Nick, my son, a hot chocolate that looked great. I was like, "Ooh, let me have a sip of that." I took a sip on that thing. It tasted what I can only describe as what it might be like to lick a length of PVC pipe in a Home Depot. It tasted like melted, burnt plastic.
Right. Oh no.
It was horrible.
Oh.
It was horrible, and I went, "Oh!" But then I'm in Rob Zombie's Dennys, right? I don't want to go and say, "This is bad. Can you get me another one?" I don't want to do that there. I think the hostess will urinate in it or something.
Right.
Like something bad will happen.
Who knows what you're gonna end up with?
So I didn't do that. We didn't send it back. We just didn't drink it. Nick tried it and was like, "Oh, that's terrible." I'm like, "Yeah, it's really, really bad." So that was fine. Guy goes, "So what do you guys want?" And we're all telling him stuff. "What do you suggest?" And he goes, "Everything's fine, but honestly, the only thing here that I totally trust are the nachos." That's what he says. The only thing
you're
here.
Going to a Denny's and asking for the waiter to recommend something.
Yeah. Because what's good at night? Because my point was like, well, do you just do breakfast like all day? Like, is that what you should eat now, or should we do something else?
Yeah, I mean, eggs and exactly. Go for your Grand Slam at 11:30 at night. Heck yeah.
Yeah, but you're missing the key point where he said, "The only thing I really trust is the nachos."
Right. Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Oh, I don't know.
So I said, "All right, get nachos and we'll all have that." So they got nachos, and then I did end up getting. I got a burger off their like value menu, like a $6 crappy little burger. It was fine, whatever. It was not notable for any particular reason. It was just kind of. Nick got the Slamwich because he thought that sounded funny.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the slamwich is, it's basically a breakfast slam in a piece of bread.
Right. Exactly. It's the eggs, bacon, and hash browns, right? Between two pieces of bread.
Yeah, and everyone else did fine. We ate, we hung out, we laughed a little bit. We watched weird things happen around us. And then we get up to leave. You know, you go pay at the counter, right?
Right.
Watching Kim try to pay, she had the wallet. She was trying to pay with that goth lady up there. Was really an exercise in patience because that girl was not with us. She was there, but not there. Like playing, what's the phrase in Warcraft when you're in your garrison all day? Playing together alone? That's what she was doing. Playing together alone. Like she just didn't seem to really want to be there. So anyway, my theory is that if I went to that same Dennys in the daytime, different staff, different vibe, different everything, it all would have been fine.
Yeah, there was a Village Inn in Cherry Creek that we always seemed to end up in. We'd go see a movie. Movie'd get out about 10 o'clock. We're like, yeah, let's go get, a slice of pie or something. We'd go to this Village Inn. And it was always something weird there. Like it was weird clientele. We had one guy, waiter, who rummaged in his apron for what seemed like minutes looking for something to write down our order on. And all of us awkwardly staring at each other and at him, and him staring at us while he's rummaging through his apron.
Wow. That's amazing.
To the point where we started just calling it the Village Inn of the Damned. So it's just and so now that's, even if we're giving directions, it's like, oh, that's over by the Village Inn of the Damned, isn't it? Yep, that's the one.
Is he the village idiot at this point?
He would be the village idiot.
Right,
yes.
Right. It's just, I don't know. It's like the place gets haunted at night. It's a very odd thing. And I actually suggested Village Inn, and they were all, no, Dennys is better. I'm not so sure. I think Village Inn would have at least featured a few old people,
Yeah, right, amongst the
That's
the
what they
clientele.
do. That's what they do as old people there at the Village Inn. I decided that's their focus.
I do prefer the Village Inn. I think that their food's a little bit better, and they have more of a variety. Yeah. But if you want your classics, you're going for breakfast, you want your top four, your eggs, bacon, hash browns, and pancakes, that's where you go.
I just realized what it reminded me of. It reminded me of Pulp Fiction, the restaurant at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's the feeling I had the whole time. Like, nobody here's normal. Everything's just a little bit off. Mm-hmm. It was like a weird movie. Like, I don't know. It was odd. Anyway, don't do it. 11:30, not a good time to do it. We got a call from a listener I'm going to play right now.
Okay.
They have this to say. And by the way, you can call the show and leave us a voicemail. We're happy to have them. 801-471-0462 is the number. And this one came in.
Hey, Scott and Brian. This is Ron. I'm just calling about your TMS PM episode this last week here. You guys were talking about the question that was posed for the TMS movie. And for the bad guy, honestly, I couldn't think of anybody better than Mendoza. I mean, he seems like a pretty good character to bring in, especially as the main bad guy. So, I don't know. Thoughts on it, guys? Take it easy. Keep up the good work.
Okay, I understand it. However, he is a goose. And I'm not sure mainstream adult audiences would take our film seriously if the bad guy was played by a bird. You know what I mean? Like
right.
You'd have to. Here's what you'd have to do. You'd have to hire an actor who looks like a bird.
Right. Exactly. So this is what I was going to say is like, well, you could kind of do it like Gotham, right? Where it's the guy, he's Cobblepot, but he kind of looks like a penguin.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, like they always do with the penguin. The penguin is just that is his job in those movies, especially the movies, the comic too, but the movies especially. The video games, they kind of just make him a normal mobster looking dude. They don't really go full penguin.
Right.
But in the movies and the TV show, it's like we need a guy.
Burgess Meredith and Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito was the extreme case.
He really was. Not only did they make him look like a bird, but didn't they give him webbed feet and like pincher hands or something?
Nose and
the whole deal.
It was like he went through the Brundlefly Express with a penguin in one pod and him in the other.
That's a nice mashup if you think about it. All right. Well, thanks for that. You can call in, really, for real. If it's something interesting, we'll play it on the opening of the show, everybody. It's 801-471-0462. 0462. Let's call Daryl. Let's get that piece of business going.
Okay.
I smell an Oreo in our future.
I do.
It's right here. And here's his theme. Wait. This is Stump a Trek Nerd, and it is brought to you by
Christmas stories about flying reindeer and talking snowmen are fun, but they pale against the hilarious hijinks of the Christmas napkin. That's right, a story about a napkin. Travel back in time to see how a clueless prince, his frustrated princess, and a somewhat put-upon servant come together to accidentally create this most beloved of holiday icons. Can't we all spare 15 minutes? Oh, and 99 cents to have our best holiday season ever by reading the origin story of a piece of cloth? The Christmas napkin for the Kindle or Kindle app via Amazon.com.
Nice. You do check that out. Daryl, are you there?
Sounds great.
Penguins don't have pinchers.
Yeah. Well, he did though, didn't he? Didn't?
Yeah, he had. Yeah, I mean they were like not like claws, but I mean little flipper claws.
No, like flipper hands. Like he only had like a thumb and a finger.
It was
or
a
something.
flipper with a thumb on it, exactly.
Okay.
Penguin. We're gonna look this up. Penguin Danny DeVito. Okay.
They couldn't have just given him a straight flipper.
Oh, here it
He
is.
wouldn't have been able to hold a gun or anything.
Yeah, in his he had like black almost spandex gloves, and it has a thumb, and then it branches out into two finger fin things. So he
like kind of like Nightcrawler kind of thing, whereas
yeah, and if you look at him in his like underwear or whatever it was when he was running around the sewers, he had his thumb and his forefinger are fine, his pointer finger, but his middle finger through pinky are one mass of flesh. So he is a deformed man. I mean, it's quite the image. They actually produced a hell of a memorable look. You know what I mean? I'm not sure it was very true to the character, or it was a little too out there or something, but he looked good. I mean, he looked great. And when all that blood was coming out of his mouth, yuck, gross. Remember that? That was gross.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, look like a guy that
fish or something. Right?
Yeah, I was eating like oil fish or the oil fish, famous oil fish.
Oil fish, sure.
Yeah. I love a good oil fish. Daryl, let's get to your deal here. Daryl's the Trek nerd. He comes on the show and does Trek trivia questions. He does it each and every morning. We've done it since pretty much day one, back in 2000, the heady days of 2011. And he's here again to present himself in a fashionable manner as the Trek nerd of the show. And he's going to answer this question I'm about to pose to him, which is this. What episode of the original series does this clip come from? Are you ready for the clip?
I am ready. And the clock, too.
All right, here you go.
The Klingon Empire has maintained a dueling tradition. They think they can beat us with swords.
Captain, neither the Klingon technology nor ours is capable of this. The instantaneous transmutation of matter. I doubt that they are responsible.
Any other logical candidate?
None. However, if they had such power, would they not have used it to create more effective weapons? And only for themselves?
That's pretty deep. By the way,
that was too long. It should have only been about 3 seconds.
I agree, but I have this to say to you. Do you not believe? I can't believe we haven't talked about this before. If you lived on that actual Enterprise and you had to work on that bridge with those people, the sounds of the computer. if the sounds they had for like all the computer stuff and all the drone sounds and the little beeps and whistles and stuff, that would drive a normal person mad. I mean, it's really bad. There's no way it would have been like that in real life. I mean, it would kill you after a while.
Yeah, unless your shift is about 5 minutes long.
True.
Change out.
Yeah, true that. All right. Well, while we think about all these things and ponder them in our hearts.
Are you hungry?
Aren't you hungry?
What's a foodie?
Let's try another weird Oreo. All right.
All right.
Mary sent us a box. Oh. The next set seems to be pretty festive to me. Oh, there are my glasses. I was trying to find these. They were in the box. What's in the box? My gunners are. All right. Let's see if we can make a decision. There's either root beer float. There's pumpkin spice, which everything is nice, or the peppermint.
I would vote for pumpkin spice.
I would vote there too.
I would vote there too if I had the box.
What? You had them yesterday.
No, I never had them.
He hasn't.
Oh,
he didn't receive these.
Oh, I thought you had. I thought you tried this yesterday.
I even went to the. No, I didn't. I just sat there quietly.
Oh. Did you go to the old house and see if he was waiting?
Yeah, I went to the old house and ran around like I wasn't supposed to because now it's trespassing. But there wasn't anything there.
Wow.
But I guess they're USPS, so they'll probably get forwarded to me.
There's a strange neck-bearded man in the yard. What is that about? Don't worry, honey. Okay, well, we're going to... Ooh, man. Wow. Huh. You know, if anyone... You know, they always use smelling salts and somebody gets knocked out in a movie?
Yeah.
Just put one of these under their noses.
It's funny. These look like they're double stuffed, don't they?
Yeah,
like,
they're fat.
Look like, yeah.
For sure.
They're fat with filling.
Pumpkin spice, limited edition.
Plus, it just looks like there's 2 layers of it.
Yeah, it's weird. It does look like double. Mine are that too. I just thought it was this one, but they're all like that. Weird. All right, well, let's give it a shot. These are the white cookie. Inside looks like a little orange goop. Here we go.
As I sit here like I did yesterday, saying nothing and eating nothing.
This is good. I think I liked yesterday's better, but these are all right.
The people who do the flavors at Oreo really have it spot on. They know exactly like...
But you know none of it's natural. Like
Right, that's the thing. It's like coming up with the fake pumpkin flavor. It's got to be harder than using real pumpkin, right? Because real pumpkin tastes like pumpkin. What secret combination of chemicals do you mix to make a pumpkin flavor?
Well, let's see. I just looked up Oreo's natural ingredients. Let's see if there are any.
Oh, sure.
Salt?
Yeah, that may not even be. Let's see. Oh, they describe here on this. I found a recipe for a healthy Oreo, but I don't want that. I'm looking for back to nature classic cream sandwich. Nope. Oh, well, yeah, they're... You know what? All the searches are like, here's a healthy alternative, but nothing about actual healthy ingredients.
Real ingredients, yeah.
Yeah, it's bad for you. And I'll probably eat 3 more of these today, so that'll be good for me and bad for me. All right, Daryl, let's get to birthdays. Anybody celebrating that we should care about or like?
That would be Charles Dennys, the man with 2 first names. He's 68 today. He played Sunad on TNG Transfigurations.
Oh, nice. Well, Shatner says,
hey,
to birthdays now. We're going to use him a lot. Well, congratulations to him. He's 68 and still with us. You know, it's funny. I was thinking the other day. Oftentimes, we as human beings are concerned with our mortality, right? We're, we're going to die. Life's too short.
Some of us more than others, yes.
Yeah, some of us more than others. Cancers, death in the family, falling off a bridge, whatever. We're, you know, car crashes, like all those things, right? They put people in a state, some people. So I got to thinking, though, statistically, all of them are minorities. Most people live, you know? Like, if you think about it, it's easy to get caught up in, like, oh, Ebola, the freaking flu, all these things are killing everybody left and right. It's easy to think that there's just huge pandemics that are just sweeping everybody under the rug. At the end of the day, if you look statistically at the human condition, most people are living. You know what I mean?
Right, yes.
Like, most people just go on and live.
Well, actually, most people are dead.
Well, most people are dead.
Because everybody that came before for the last billion years are all dead.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But those who are, I mean, those who are within the ages of 0 to 90 in that range that are on the earth now,
yeah,
they're alive and they will keep living. And they were, and most of them won't get cancer. Most of them won't get run over by a car. Most of them won't die in a plane crash.
4 out of 5 people that we interviewed said they're alive right now.
I don't know why it hit me, though. It just kind of smacked me in the face. Because human beings want to make stories about how terrible something is.
Sure.
It's not, though.
Well, I mean, okay, you look back at, like, typhoid and the Black Plague and...
Even then...
You know, wiping out huge swaths of people. But there was still, you know...
Even then, more people lived than died in the worst possible conditions. Like, the Black Death came, killed a lot of people. Lots of people. But most people survived.
And then they died later.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone dies eventually, but...
Yeah.
But that's my point, is people just die eventually. On the whole, that is the main cause of death. The main cause of death. That should do a big headline on CNN. Just in a study in that the main cause of death is regular death. That should be it. Just regular old death.
Just regular, yeah,
Guy fell asleep, didn't wake up. All right, great. All right, anyway. I don't know why that was so fascinating to me.
The most common cause of death, stopping breathing.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, that's a real bugger, that one. All right, Daryl, you're back to we're back to life, back to reality here. What's that song? Back to
That's
life.
The one. Soul to soul.
To reality. Is that Soul to soul? Want me? However do you need me? However do you? That's a stupid question. However do you want me? However do you need me? That's a dumb question.
Or is it however, comma, do you want me?
Like
or however, comma, do you need me?
At this weekend's Christmas family party Kim's throwing, I'm going to ask her when she's doing stuff and she's all busy. I'm going to say, honey, however do you need me? Instead of saying, can I help or what do you need done? I'll say, however do you need me? And see what she says. Good. I'll report back.
And then make a song out of it.
Yeah. A huge hit for Soul to Soul. Or Soul to Soul, is that it?
Soul to Soul, yeah.
All right, great.
Soul, Soul.
Okay.
If we're dollar hawing it.
They're doing well, right? They're still with us. They're still kicking it, and touring and releasing albums.
They open and close every concert with that song, I'm sure.
Actually, I have a quick question about music. Is there an example of a band that's famous or otherwise expected to open and close with the same song in their concert?
Well, I don't know about expected, but Tone Loc.
Yeah.
Some friends of mine saw him in Las Vegas, and he opened and closed with Funky Cold Medina.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a very.
It's just when your library, when your Uber is that limited.
Well, then what was did they play like 50 versions of the other one in between the middle? What
like Wild Thing.
Wild Thing in the middle,
sure,
and then
I think probably only did that one once.
What's the rest of the night for? Him just up there talking. All right, well, he's still, you know what? He's still doing like voice work and stuff. That guy's still got stuff to do. He's a busy man. Anyway,
sure.
Tone Loc, good luck to you. Daryl, back to your question. We played that clip. It comes from these episodes: Friday's Child, Day of the Dove, A Private Little War, or Errand of Mercy. Which do you think it is?
I should, when it comes to TOS ones, I should at the beginning say how many seconds that it will take to get it.
Yeah, we should.
I can name that episode in 3 seconds.
Especially the audio stuff, because it's just puts you right in the headspace. I agree.
Especially TOS.
Yeah. TNG, I think you've gotten a few TNGs even wrong before, because there's just 7 seasons of that stuff. Mm-hmm. There's a total of 70 something episodes of TOS ever made?
69.
69 is all? Jeez. It's not very much. You can keep track of all those. Even the bad ones. All right, well, what do you say? Which one?
Yeah, even the bad ones, like Day of the Dove.
Ooh, is Day of the Dove a bad one?
It's not that great.
Season 3? Or okay, well, that explains it. Season 3, piece of garbage. All right, here we go. Let's find out. Are you right? I guess so. Are you?
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, he's right. Freaking right.
You're
bad.
a
Okay,
winner.
Fletcher, got it. The Enterprise beams up a group of Klingons. Very strange energy causes the Enterprise and crew and Klingons to fight. The crew members become violent because of this energy, especially Chekhov, which is always fun to watch. There you go. There's your episode, and there's Daryl's proper answer to the question. What? I don't know. That's it. Daryl is the Trek Nerd on Twitter. He's also at This Week in Trek at thisweekintrek.com and the Grumpy Cast. Daryl, play a game with us now called Scrotum or Star Trek or something.
Oh, no, I'm changing it now.
Oh, okay.
Star Trek Science Prize or Actual Prize.
Science prize?
Oh, like the Nobel Peace Prize for science kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's your theme.
What are you doing here?
All right, go ahead.
AVN Awards.
Well, that's actual real.
That's the
That's the porn
the
awards.
Adult Video Network.
You guys know too much about this.
Well, that's just an easy one. Like that's just like I've heard of that a billion times. I don't follow those
I'm
awards.
deleting this. Can I do a different one?
Yeah, if you want.
No, because we you
I'm
get the ones every once in a while.
He's hanging up on us now. Oops, I called him back. I didn't mean to. That's hilarious. AVN, that's so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's even a thing I follow, but I know that, like the
You've
old
heard the
stories
term
of,
AVN Awards, yeah.
CES bumps up right against AVN and all the nerds go over there and stuff. That one's too easy. Daryl. He should go run around his old yard again and get in trouble. All right, what are we doing now? News?
Television highlights of the news of yesteryear.
Ooh, in the news today, there's plenty of news.
All right.
So
let's
why
get to
not?
some of that news.
Why
By the
not
way,
share
the AVN Awards, the only award show you go to where the floor is sticky.
Gross. Gross. I've never been in Vegas when that was going on. I wonder what that's like. It's probably crazy.
I can't imagine. I don't think there were times that the podcast thing synchronized with that as well, and I don't know what that's like. I don't know if you just see porn stars walking down the strip, looking at the cards, saying, "Oh yeah, that's all right."
Or some of them may walk through and go, Ooh, I really want to stop by the Samsung booth and see the new curved TV.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I hear Michael Bay's going to do a presentation on this.
Yeah, do I have a minute? Can I have a blanket or something to cover myself up? I just really want to see this. Yeah, I don't know who we're... So when we go, my suspicion is that we will see some of the prep for the following week, which is CES, but not much else. And I'm glad I'm missing all that. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Plus, it's expensive.
An idiot marriage suppository is what I almost said. Idiot marriage proposal leaves 6 people homeless.
Whoops.
Article sent to me by Renee. Thank you, Renee. Appreciate that. Here's how it goes. A young man's determination to give his girlfriend the dramatic marriage proposal she never asked for ended with a half-dozen neighbors evacuated from their homes in this edition of Please Just Propose Like a Normal Human Being.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, I agree. This is over on Gawker, who's reporting this. An exuberant Dutchman decided to... Dutchman! Powers. What's his powers?
Able to stick his thumb in a dike and have it stop the water flow. Excelsior!
Glad you finished that sentence with the water flow.
Wow. Yes, exactly.
An exuberant Dutchman, he was very exuberant, decided to propose to his girlfriend this weekend by renting a crane and appearing at her windowsill as she slept, like Kristen Stewart's ghost. Robert Pattinson did that in that movie. Anyway, to add insult to injury...
Kristen Stewart's ghost, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
like
nice,
that.
right? To add insult to injury, the Dutchman reportedly planned to play a guitar. The AP reported, quote, the crane toppled over, smashing a large hole in the neighbor's roof. But true love, she conquers all, even expensive property damage. And the girlfriend reportedly bloomed into a fiancé right there in the smoldering wreckage of her neighbor's homes. Off the golden couple skipped to Paris to celebrate their engagement. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, then the crane fell during attempts to right it with a larger crane, bashing in the rest of the neighbor's roof. The town's mayor is on the spot after the building was declared unsafe. 6 apartments evacuated.
Oh, man.
Not worth it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, you might say this. You might say, well, if that would have gone fine, everyone would be going, oh, how romantic and cute, and what a creative... But because it all went bad and only now we're irritated, I think you ought to still be thinking of these things before you do them.
Yes, totally.
Because most of the time, people doing it now aren't doing it for the girl anyway. They're doing it for YouTube or
They're
something.
Exactly. They're doing it so that they can go viral with their proposal.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
Kim and I, up in the canyon, up on a mountain, nobody there but us. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, wonderful moment. No one else had to see it. Didn't have to share it with anybody. Well, I guess I'm telling you now, but that was a long time ago.
Sure.
That's the way it was supposed to go. It's the way it's supposed to go, damn it.
I proposed at a New Year's Eve party with a pizza that spelled out, will you marry me, with the ring in the middle of it.
Oh, Brian, that's adorable.
Had it delivered.
Oh. Did they what they write the name in, or what they write the words in?
Black olives and green peppers.
Oh, okay. What they did, pepperoni too big. That's like a
pepperoni. You'd be able to get Mary ? Or probably just a big question mark.
Yeah, that's only 8 DPI, or that's only one.
That's right.
That's 1 DPI is what that is.
Exactly.
1 dot per inch. Well, that's good. Well, don't do it on a crane next time. Not that there'll be a next time, but anybody out there thinking about proposing, don't do that. It's stupid.
I'm gonna get proposed while we're bungee jumping because that'll go well.
I'm gonna write my name on my chest in lighter fluid and then set it on aflame. Nothing bad will happen. Merriam-Webster has named their word of the year for 2014.
All right.
Are you ready for this? We do this every year.
I'm ready. Oh, it's going to be a good one. I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
Word of the year is culture.
What?
Culture. It was
culture?
already in the dictionary. It's not a new word, right? It's just they say it's their word of the year. So a nation, a workplace, an ethnicity, a passion, an outsized personality. The people who comprise these things, who fawn or rail against them, are behind Merriam-Webster's 2014 Word of the Year, culture. The word joins Oxford Dictionary's vape, a darling of the e-cigarette movement. Is it a movement? Is it a movement?
I would not call it a movement. The e-cigarette movement. The revolution!
Oh, man. I don't
Viva
like...
la revolution!
I will blow some strawberry-flavored water vapor in your face. I don't know why he's French. Or I guess yours was, too.
Really smelly.
Let's see. They say Merriam-Webster's based its pick on 9 runners-up and significant increases in lookups this year on their site. So whoever went to Merriam-Webster.com, people looked up the word culture a lot.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
Okay.
That seems real
Boy,
strange.
George making a comeback that we don't know about?
Maybe are we all so dumb we don't know what the word means, so we have to go to the dictionary to find out? That's what this what says to me, is that people are looking up the word culture to understand what it means. That's weird.
That is weird.
The number 2 spot was nostalgia.
Oh, I remember looking that up when I was younger.
It was a year with so much. You know what? When I looked up that
the
word,
good old days when
I used the actual dictionary.
That word, yeah,
it was amazing. During a year of big 50th anniversaries pegged to 1964, the start of the free speech movement, the passage of the Civil Rights Act, the birth of the Ford Mustang, the British invasion heralded by the landing of the Beatles on the U.S. soil. This was like a big deal, so maybe that's why that word was being looked up. That's weird. Nostalgia was followed by insidious, legacy, feminism rather, and a rare multi-word phrase that can be looked up in total in a foreign language that is in French, je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Why though? Who? Why? What are you doing?
He's got that certain something, that je ne sais quoi.
Make love to my tater. Let's see. The Springfield, Massachusetts-based dictionary giant. I like the sound of that for some reason. The Massachusetts-based
dictionary
giant. I will define all your words and eat your children. Let's see. Filters out perennial favorites when picking word of the year, but that does that formula leave them chasing language fads? We're simply using the word culture more frequently, says Peter Skakowski. That's totally right.
That's exactly how I would pronounce that.
Sokolowski. There you go. He's editor at large at the Merriam-Webster. Quote, it may be a fad, it may not. It just simply is an evolution. So there you go.
Well, let's look up evolution.
He'd say you got an evolution. Well,
wait, but that last quote.
Yeah.
Okay. So Merriam-Webster and Oxford, 2 different dictionaries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was Webster's dictionary was word of the year was culture, but Oxford Dictionary's word of the year is vape. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm confused by the whole thing.
It's all right. At least the culture one's like, oh yeah, culture. We're always trying to figure out the culture, and then Oxford's like, vape. We're doing vaping.
I don't know which is worse, really. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, a word that we all should know and not have to look up, or just a really dumb.
The whole exercise is dumb. Don't you agree? Use a dictionary for what it's for. Quit telling us what words are popular.
I would be curious. I am curious as to which word gets looked up the most, but the fact that it's culture is kind of disappointing.
I think it's more anything Google publishes as the most searched for terms is a more relevant thing anyway, because no one goes to dictionary.com or Merriam-Webster to search for words. They use Google first.
That's right.
I feel like this is almost their way of saying, hey, we're still relevant. People still come to us and search for things. No, they don't. My mom opened Word documents using Google yesterday. She opened a local on her hard drive Google or a freaking Word document with Google Chrome using the search bar and an open command. So if you're telling me that people are going all the way to Merriam-Webster.com, you're smoking the crack.
There's stuff you just don't want to know as far as what's really going on in your parents' house, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what am I not seeing them do backwards?
Oh yeah. That one time my mom mentioned we were all sitting around talking, or I can't remember what it was, and we were all grossed out because she kissed John. We're like, ew, gross, old people kissing, just kidding, teasing him, right? And she goes, oh, I could teach you guys all a thing or two about senior sex. It's like, Mom, don't tell us anything about senior sex. I don't even want to hear that term. That was a terrible term. Senior sex. Do you get a discount? I mean, what's going on with senior sex?
At a birthday party that I thankfully wasn't there for because it was the same weekend as BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Apparently, my 88-year-old grandmother commented on my niece's nose piercing and said something like, well, she probably has her pierced as well. And the word she used was, another word for cat.
Oh my gosh, really?
88-year-old Hungarian woman.
Oh my gosh. That's intense, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I got one better.
Believe me, that was the first story that I heard as soon as I got back from that trip.
I can't believe you didn't tell us on the show sooner. This is a gem. All right.
Yeah, you have to wait for the right time.
That's okay. I've been holding back too. Here's one for you about old people. Right. You ready for this?
Okay.
So my grandma was dating this guy named Byron. This is probably 15 years after my grandpa died, and she was still single, and so we were all happy for her. It's like, oh, she's dating this guy, and he used to be this like professor-y dude and a music guy, and he played piano really well, and he always wore like a nice cardigan sweater, and just really nicely kept guy and all that, right? Mm-hmm. Sweet guy named Byron. And so Byron and Dolores hanging out, doing their thing, and he started kind of losing it, and they ended up putting him in a home, but she was still seeing him, and she's in her 80s, he's in his 80s. And she would go by there to see him here and there. She's super sharp lady. She always was. Right up to her death, she was just, on it. Mm-hmm. And we went there with her one night to see him. And we go to his door, and they're all in like dormitory type things. It was kind of a nice upper scale. He had a lot of money, and he was living in this thing.
Kind of place, right?
We knock on the door, and a topless 80-plus-year-old woman, maybe in her 70s, I don't know, is standing there, topless. Boobs swinging out there. Lower than they used to, I'm sure.
Sure.
And we were like, oh, whoa, what are we doing? And we're like, did we get the wrong apartment? We thought maybe we got the wrong one. And she goes, are you looking for Byron? And we said, yeah. Well, just a minute, I'll go get him.
Aww.
So she goes she waddles in the back, and we're all kind of nonplussed. And my grandma, now that I think about it, was looking steamed, like she was just pissed.
Sure, yeah, I was gonna say this is her boyfriend.
Man, it's her boyfriend. So it was like a terrible high school thing, but set in your 80s is what this was. So she goes in the back room, and she comes out with Byron, and there's Byron the way you expect to see him. His spectacle-looking glasses, his perfectly coiffed hair, his regal look and manner, his sweater, okay, so he still had the cardigan.
Just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
No pants. No pants. He had shoes on, but pantsless. He's got black socks and shoes on. Nice. His cardigan sweater, but then the middle of the sandwich empty. Nothing there. Just his doodle hanging out. And he comes walking out there. And I mean, it was horrifying, dude. It was horrifying. And it was me, my sister, I can't remember which sister, one of them, my wife, and then my grandma, all standing there, and nobody knew what to say. He's like, do you want to come in? You can all come in. We've got some, I don't know, something to drink in here. There's something to do. Like as if the woman standing next to him isn't topless and his wiener isn't out.
Right.
But that's when we knew the beginning of the end had begun. So we left, and she was mad. She wouldn't talk to him again.
Wow. Well, yeah, I don't blame her.
Hey, he cheated on her, but I don't think he even knew. He was so oblivious to it. Like he just seemed to, not know what happened.
He knew.
Oh, he knew all right.
He knew what was going.
Chairman J. Parnell Thomas of New Jersey opens an inquiry into possible communist penetration of the Hollywood film industry.
It's Celebrity Poop, and it's brought to you by
the Coverthon, or not Coverthon, the Coverville Countdown. The other thing that I do this time of year, the Coverville Countdown 2014 coming up. The last 2 episodes of this year, and this Friday is the deadline for nominating songs from this year, covers from this year that you really enjoyed. Now, the original version doesn't have to be from this year. It can be a cover of freaking Got to Get You Into My Life by the Beatles, or Dream a Little Dream by the whatever. The guys I can't think of right now. The brothers. Everly Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was the Mamas and the Papas. Sorry. Anyway, this is great when it's unscripted, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Get your nominations in by going to tinyurl.com/Coverville Countdown 2014 and get your nominations in. I
always enjoy this episode, time of the year for Coverville. It's always good.
This was me looking at the words none and saying, oh, he's saying this is brought to you by, I better come up with something. So
it's my habit kicked in, but I'm glad you brought that up because people should know about the countdown.
Sure.
Judy Blume, she used to make the girly books for the kids.
Right. Fudge.
I don't
know. Ramona the Pest.
Oh, is that her? I have no idea.
Are you there, Margaret? It's me, God, or the other way around, I guess.
My sisters were so into this, and I remember just being annoyed by it because they were into it. It was to me, it was no different than them being into Strawberry Shortcake or some other stupid thing. Although Strawberry Shortcake, there's one I do have a connection to Strawberry Shortcake that is not just me hating it.
Okay.
They had a character called
Purple Pie Man.
They had a character that was a blueberry chick. Does anyone chat room remember her name? Was it
Muffin?
Blueberry Muffin? That might have been it.
Muffin something?
Blueberry Muffin doll. Yeah, there it is. There she is. So the original 80s era one,
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak to them. There's some new ones now. I don't know much about those. But the old one, they all smelled like their flavor. And I could sit and huff on that doll for hours. I would plop down in front of the TV on like a Saturday to watch my regimen of Saturday morning cartoons, and I would just breathe in that blueberry muffin doll the whole time I sat there. Is that a little weird? It's a little weird, isn't it?
Huffing the muffin.
Yeah, huffing the muffin. Just horking that in. I just couldn't get enough of it. There was something in there. I loved it. Anyway,
Huffing the muffin.
I could do it right now.
It's going to be the name of my autobiography.
Brian Ibbett, Huffing the Muffin.
Huffing the Muffin.
An authorized autobiography. He authorized it himself to do it.
By the way, I did get corrected. The Ramona books were Beverly Cleary. I was confusing with Tales of Fourth Grade Nothing, which was Fudge, Peter and Fudge.
Oh, I don't remember any of this stuff.
I used to clump all those together.
Did you?
What was the dog? It was a dog, right? Peter and
his stupid dog. I have no idea.
Henry?
Sure.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I just know that big red dog. What was his name?
Clifford. Sure.
You know, that big red dog.
That big red dog, yeah.
The big red dog, Clifford. Jeez. This is all such fun. Where am I here? Oh, Judy Blume.
The chat room is exploding with Huffing the Muffin.
Of course they are. Judy Blume, author of the all those kid novels.
Was the winner at the last AVN Awards.
I know, right? The author's first adult novel since 1998 is coming out in June. Oh, so she's done this before, I guess. It's called In the Unlikely Event. It will be set in the early 50s in Blume's native New Jersey, and will tell a series of mysterious plane crashes, or a tale of mysterious plane crashes. The 76-year-old Blume is one of the world's most popular children's authors, known for such novels as Are You There, God?, It's Me, Margaret, and The Tales of the Fourth Grade Nothing. You were right about those. Most writers for young people struggle to reach older audiences, but Blume's previous adult novel, Summer Sisters, sold more than 3 million copies. You know why? Because them ladies who bought it used to be the kids you sold to when they were kids.
Exactly. So they're on the Judy Blume train. So
it's great. It's awesome.
It's probably going to work out better for her than J.K. Rowling, right?
Yeah, that's what you think.
The Accidental Detective or whatever it was called.
Yeah, what was that? I think it was well received critically, but didn't sell very many.
Yeah.
But she's making some Harry Peter thing now again, so everyone will be into that. HelloFresh. HelloFresh.com. Hello, Fresh. How are you? What's going on? How are you guys? Good. That's good, because you have great food and I want some. I want to come to your website. Oh, can I? Yes, I can. Okay, great. I'll just keep doing this weird conversation I'm having with them. HelloFresh.com is the place making cooking fun again for all of you. Look, you like good chef-made food, you want gourmet food, well, hot damn. Go there and check out what they have this week. We already talked about those earlier this week, and man, yummy, yummy, all of them. You want to make that meal in 30 minutes or less and have it brought straight to your door in farm fresh ingredient style? Well, go to HelloFresh.com and use the code MorningStream for your 50% off your first time order. And if you're a returning customer, just keep going, because, man, it's so good. Oh, HelloFresh.com. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Fitness Geek, Jury Duty, and more. Before all of that, though, Brian brought a little package.
And the one that I was trying to remember, Henry and Ribsy, was the other book that I was trying to remember, and that was also Beverly Cleary.
I remember none of that.
Wow.
See, when you weren't watching Knight Rider, you were reading.
It's apparently what I was doing. Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
All right. This one comes into us from David. Says, I am 18 and I freaking love your guys' show.
Oh,
I often listen to you guys while cleaning restaurant carpets by myself or when driving 3 hours to a job to clean carpets. You keep me awake on those long drives and keep me from going into oncoming traffic. Thanks, and live long and prosper. Signed, David.
All right.
Now, here's what's really cool is that he recommended a song that came for me from one of the best games I played this year on the iOS, on the iOS.
Okay, old man, keep explaining.
I played that on the iOS. Which was a game called Device 6. I think I recommended that one to you.
You did, yeah.
One of the best things about that, there were a lot of great things about that. The fact that you had to turn your iPad in all different directions as you were reading through it, and the words themselves led you through all these really cool puzzles, and you had to not only solve these puzzles but figure out the greater mystery that was going on.
Yeah.
And during a key moment in that game, you hear the cover of a song by Daniel Olson called Anna. and I think it's performed by Jonathan. I've got it right here, Jonathan Eng. This thing is so cool. If you have not played Device 6, if you have an iPad and you have not played Device 6, go get it. There are a couple of games that that really made a difference, or like really stood out to me as games of the year for me this year. That other one was that Romskopel, or what it was called.
Oh,
it was
the
like
weird RTS thing.
Yeah, it was like a space RTS.
That was really neat.
It was. Yeah. It was dang addictive too.
Yeah, I made it through 2 or 3 total runs of that, but man, I love that. Was really cool.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. So anyway, Device 6, go pick it up. 6, the number 6, not sex, Thorin. And this is going out to David, who recommended it.
All right, well, here it is. It's Anna. We'll be back in a minute. Stay tuned.
Snowflake, our needle in the hay, a 4-leaf clover on a lovely summer's day. That's as sweet and our dreams are coming true. 1 in a million, that is you. A glistening diamond, our bright and shining pearl, a shooting star above a rainbow, that's our girl. It's as sweet and our dreams are coming true. 1 in a million, that is you. Our search was long, our search was hard, but we would not give up. Now here you are.
When you have completed this video, you will be able to navigate within the desktop, use the keyboard, mouse, icons, and taskbar, connect to your internet server, navigate through your internet provider's homepage.
Help! Help! It's happening!
They are all that is man. This is the morning stream.
Yep. All right, we're back. Lovely cover. I like that a lot.
Yeah. It's such a weird moment in the game too, when you come around this corner and it's like you're standing in a lounge and you're hearing this coming from a tape recorder.
I like that juxtaposition of like
such a cool game. I almost want to get back in and play it again just because it was so good.
You know what's really good at that is Boardwalk Empire is really good at the dissonance when you not turn a corner, but when you're seeing maybe a horrifying moment of murder or something, and on the Victrola back there is this hello my baby, hello my dog, you know, like it just doesn't fit. It's great. I love it. That's one of my favorite things in the world. Okay, let's have time with Fitness Geek.
Let's have time with Bill.
Should we have time with Bill now?
Time with Bill.
Sit on down and have time with Bill. Oh, he's showing his offline.
No time with Bill.
Well, we'll find out. Mayhaps he forgot. Let's see. And the chances of Jury being up right now are likely not very high. All right, we're gonna try. We'll keep trying, Bill. Chat room, I have an idea for you for the next couple of minutes. We're gonna do a little impromptu Ask TMS, but it's gonna be you asking the questions. Brian, you're going to pick your favorites, and they're going to
Okay.
type them. And as soon as the delay ends here, they will start asking their really heartfelt, hard questions.
Gotcha.
And
They're
we'll-
going to throw them right into the
Yeah.
chat room.
Yeah, and we'll just do a little ask us a question thing now. Do we even have a thing for that?
Send and receive email.
Close enough. It's like emails, but it's live in real time. So,
Cool. All right, this will be fun.
All right, so go for it. What do you got there? Anything?
Brain Goose says, "What is your bidding, my master?"
Kill the goose. Kill the goose. That's my bidding.
Oh, favorite Christmas cover. Good, I like this.
You have one? Do you have a favorite Christmas cover?
I do. I like Marshmallow World by Johnny Mathis did the earliest version that I have, but I like all the different versions of that song.
I really like the Mario Brothers Christmas mashup, and I'm going to see if I have it here. I might not be on this computer.
Oh yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
That's on another computer. It's like basically Winter Wonderland and Mario mixed, and it's so fantastic, and you realize so quickly how kind of jaunty and Christmassy all the Mario music is. It just all fits right in. We'll play that probably before the end of the year or something.
Cool.
Because it's really good.
Yeah, I do like that. Scully asks, rejected TMS names.
Like names we would have had for the show?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I did actually have some alternates before I even called you. Boy, I don't know if I remember them, though. I think at one point, one of them was just Frog Pants in the Morning, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. Frog Pants in the morning.
Yeah, it's so morning show. I don't know what I was... Well, I know what I was thinking because I didn't use it. There was one other one, like time in the can or can something time in the something. I don't know. They were all bad. The morning stream, and a lot of people still accuse me and even say that there's proof that I've admitted to this, and I still maintain that I didn't mean it to be this, but they still think the morning stream is directly a euphemism for taking a pee in the morning.
Right.
It's
right.
not. It just worked out that way because originally it was just because you got to remember before this, I was doing live stuff sometimes at the instance, but it was kind of spotty.
Mm-hmm.
We went crazy with this to like really go for like a live thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And the stream part was a huge part of it. So
right.
That was the main reason we called it that. I can't think of any others.
Sweeney Toad asks, favorite soundtracks.
Jeez,
favorite movie soundtrack.
Favorite screen name is Sweeney Toad today. That's amazing. Favorite soundtracks, mine would be Back to the Future.
Oh, that's a good one.
The How to Train Your Dragon is unbelievably good. And the Inception soundtrack are my three favorite soundtracks.
Inception is great. That's one that I put on every once in a while.
Yeah.
The Lost soundtrack I keep coming back to. I know that's not a movie soundtrack, but the Michael Giacchino or Giacchino stuff on there is fantastic, and it's just so.
Are all the songs? Do they all end with like? Yeah. Yeah. That'd be the only thing I'd worry about with those.
Let's see. What band's cover band would you be in? Oh, that's a good one. I would totally be in a Squeeze cover band because my vocal range is closest to Glenn Tilbrook's.
Oh, that's cool.
And I can't play an instrument, so I'd have to be the singer.
I would be a Shins cover band.
Oh, really?
Just because I really like the Shins a lot. So that's what I would want to do.
Cool.
Maybe, hey, I got one. Bluegrass versions of Judas Priest.
Oh, God, that'd be great.
Yeah, that I'd be into. In fact, why doesn't that exist already?
You got another thing coming.
Exactly. Yeah. That's right on, dude. We can do a couple more. I think Bill's out. I don't know what's going on with Bill.
Wind Magus wants to know best free iPhone games.
Best free iPhone games.
Yeah.
I'm really into right now, and the name escapes me, so I guess I'm not that into it. But for me, it's right now it's Crossy Road.
Oh yeah, you love that.
I love that. It's really hard not to play that. Let's see, where's the other one I was thinking of?
Yeah, see, I can't look at my thing and know which ones I paid for and which ones I didn't.
Run Sackboy. If you like endless runners and you're sick of all the stuff that's out there now, Sony put out Run Sackboy. It's really good. It's based on the Little Big Planet dude.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's quite fun. If it plays like Little
the
Big
Spider-Man Unlimited endless runner is pretty good for that as
good.
well.
Yep, that one's totally good. Probably the other one I would recommend, just off the top of my head here. There's so many, but a new one I've been playing is called Seabeard. Mm-hmm. It's basically like what's the Animal Crossing that Nintendo does on the DS stuff.
Oh, really?
It's like that, but I don't like the free-to-play hooks it has. Other than that, it's pretty charming. It's pretty awesome. I like that one a lot right now. But there's a million. I mean, there's so many.
I'll still go back to 3s every once in a while if I just need like a quick.
Well, that one costs though, right?
No, I thought it was free. Is it not free?
I don't think so. I think that was like $3 or something. I think.
Oh, wow.
I think so.
That'd be funny if it was $3.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one.
All right. Well, it's not free.
Still a great game, though.
Two Dots. Two Dots is a lot of fun.
Two Dots, I think is also cost money, doesn't it?
Ah, really?
That's $3 too, yeah.
Damn it.
That's all right. You're just making a good argument for pay to play. That's fine.
Spend a little money, get a good game.
Yeah, you slackers. Jeez, it all have to be free. Jeez. Why can't y'all spend a little bit of money? All right.
Oh yeah, Trivia Crack. I gotta get into Trivia Crack.
Yeah,
I downloaded it.
My daughter is so into that right now. She can't stop. She's always asking me to help her.
Kretz wants to know if I had to have a hairstyle, which one would it be?
You mean not the cool one you have now?
Right, exactly. I think bald is still a hairstyle.
I agree. Do you know whenever I make a character in a video game, I often go for bald?
Do you really?
Yeah. I make it a point. Isn't that a little bit weird? It is a little weird.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Welcoming to the stage, Brittany, everybody. Brittany. Big hand for Brittany. No. Justin.
Savannah, you're on deck.
Justin Roberta Young is on the line. Hello, Justin.
Hello, guys. How are you?
You hate cereal, man. You're that guy who just hates cereal.
Yeah. You're the biggest cereal hater in the world.
Yeah. Took a little heat over the week from people who if, for whatever reason, didn't see what you were asking as more of what I saw it as, which was more of a hypothetical question, and saw it more as this strange condemnation of a thing they love. And I don't know why they felt that way, but anyway, we don't have to get into that just yet. It is Justin Robert Young, and he's here because that's what he does on Tuesdays. Are you traveling? Where are you? What's going on?
No, I'm not traveling. However, I actually set up the studio, and then I realized that I would have had to reboot Skype to get the Wirecast virtual camera out. So after all that work, we're not going to use the camera.
That's all right.
That's all right. Stopping the thing.
We have a still photo of you, not quite bearded as you are now, but bearded nonetheless. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. How you doing? You sound like you're getting over a cold or something.
No, I am. There was I got caught up in the fever of the season, and now hopefully I'm better.
How was that Patreon party, by the way?
Patreon party was pretty rad.
Ain't no party like a Patreon party.
Yeah, because the Patreon party kindly requests you donate money.
What does that sound?
Why am I hearing beeping?
Yeah, what is that?
Oh, crap. You want to know what?
Oh, is it anytime your name is mentioned in the chat room?
Yeah. Well, no, that's what happened. Because I wanted to let you guys know that I was up. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll do that by going into the chat room. And then I left the chat room on.
No. That's a strange sound. It was a weird beep. Felt like fries were done. Anyway, so did Patreon make you pay $1 a month to get in there, or how did it work?
No, they were really nice, and they got this great space that actually kind of made me think it would be a great venue to do kind of a one-day only kind of mega little West Coast conference.
Like a little meetup joint. What was it like? What was it like? Is it a place they rented, or was it their place?
No, it's their new office. I went there because when the Patreon stuff first happened, I just wanted to go and see who these strange goblins were that were giving all of me and my friends money.
Yeah.
So I visited their offices back when they were working out of Jack Conte from Poplamoose's apartment in San Francisco, and so it was really cool to see them all grows up in this awesome little office in Soma in San Francisco. And yeah, the party was cool. It was fun. It was like a lot of tech startup Christmas parties, which I happen to find myself at a few of because of the Go game.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I didn't have to work, which was nice.
That is nice. You could drink a little, hobnob. You know, Veronica Belmont was there. Yeah,
little hobnobbing, and then random music from a lady named Megan Tonhays. I think that the J, if it's not Tonhays, it's Tones. It's Tonjes. But she was amazing, and then Julia Nunes also performed.
Oh yeah, I like her.
She's great. Yeah.
Ukulele girl, she's great.
Yeah, she was awesome sauce. They were both really, really good. Julia Nunes actually did, I think, I'll Be Home for Christmas. I think it was I'll Be Home for Christmas.
All right, I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, her Ben Folds cover. I remember that was the discovery on YouTube that led me to start subscribing to her stuff. But it was her Ben Folds cover, and I can't remember what the song was. It wasn't Brick.
She's cute as a button.
She really is.
My daughter's
just
really
adorable.
into her. She keeps asking me to get more of her music, so she kind of fits Carter's life view. That girl. Well, that's awesome. But now the real question at hand, though.
Yeah.
All that's neat and everything, but we've never really truly done a sequel to a jury episode or a jury duty episode here on the morning stream. But I feel like we're due one now, because what happened last week was, to bring back the whole cereal thing, you had made some...
An argument told week by week.
Sure.
Signifying nothing.
Male shimp?
Previously on Pedantic Conversations.
Male shimp? Anyway, so here's the question. By the way, that's the truth. That's the story I want to hear week to week, is what is going on with the woman who can't say chimp. Anyway, here's what I want to know about you. You were on there, or you hadn't heard the show at all when we last spoke, but you had some ideas and some thoughts, and we talked about the whole Reddit bombing thing, and made some, not comparisons directly, but just questions about, well, what's the difference between this quote-unquote retconning of a crime versus that retconning of a crime? Is it time? Is it professionalism? Is it the auspices of NPR? Is it something else entirely? Blah, blah, blah. And you had even said then, yeah, I'll be catching up on it. And then you took a lot of heat during the week, but nonetheless, you did listen. You caught up. And then you told me via text, oh, I have a whole new set of things I believe, or I have things I want to say, or something.
I do.
And now I want to know.
All right. So first and foremost, I totally understand people getting really, really defensive about podcasts, because I think we all do podcasts that people would probably get defensive about if somebody talked trash about it, right?
Yeah.
So I totally get that. They have, way more downloads than we have, and therefore their audience is disproportionately sized and has a lot of people that are really, really into it, up to and including me. I'm really, really excited to see how this wraps up, because I am currently caught up on the product. So my initial question was, just kind of, and I talked to Brian a little bit more about this, that Brian is a little bit more down on it than, and I don't even want to say down on it, but is a little bit more worried about where his feelings will be at the final product, because he kind of thinks that at the end of the day, is this just exploitation of other people's pain?
Yeah. Brian Brushwood, everyone who's wondering if we're talking about our Brian or a different Brian. Brian Brushwood,
not David. Yeah. Let me go to last name. Sorry.
Right.
Talking to Brushwood.
All right.
I'm talking to Ibit now.
I was confused.
Okay.
What? I don't remember that discussion.
Who am I? That? You're asking. Yeah.
It's after a long night of sushi with your neighbors. You got on the phone, and it's highly likely you don't remember it. So, all right, here. Let me just start off by talking about all the good things I like about the show after listening to it. It's extraordinarily well done. It's extraordinarily well told. It is every element of public radio done well, layered on top of what I believe is somebody saying, hey, I've been working on this story that I could turn into a book. I could go to a publisher, I could get an advance, I could make this a true crime book, but instead I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it this week by week telling on in this very NPR, This American Life kind of way. It is exceptional. It is well worth listening to if you haven't listened to it.
Agreed.
So, all that being said, what my point was last week, having not listened to it, was what makes that different than this kind of in public citizen reporting that you saw during the Boston bombings? What many people have let me know, and thank you for reaching out, and I don't mean that ironically. I always love, even if it's negative stuff, whenever you hit me up at Justin R. Young on Twitter, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com, or just email Scott. This is my favorite way to get in contact with me. Scott, and then he will forward them to me if he deems them constructive.
Yeah.
However you want to reach out, I do love hearing passionate feedback. So that is not a lie. What people have made me aware of, and I do agree with, is, the biggest difference is that she is not some random Joe on the street. She is a reporter.
Yeah.
She is a former Baltimore Sun reporter, and she is now, despite the fact that she has a very relatable tone of voice and language,
which is very This American Life. It's like the entire motif of what they do.
Yeah. So instead of it being very authoritative, like, it was at this point that I believed the story didn't hold up.
Right.
It's like, at this point, I don't know if this holds up. Ding,
ding, ding. Yeah, that's it. That's basically it. Yeah.
So that's the artifice to it, but that's what makes it relatable.
Sure. No, I agree. It's it makes the body of all of their work at This American Life relatable.
Sure, and I think that you can't separate that from when you think that, well, these, this seems a little bit more freewheeling, which is kind of why it's appealing, right?
Yeah.
Because if it was just an MSNBC documentary, I don't think that we would. I mean, there are some people that would find that engrossing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would have the mass appeal that it has.
I agree. I think it's important. It's important to acknowledge it at the very least, even if you don't think it's has a lot to do with the case itself or how you can get the core issues across. It's still it's like saying, here's what it's like saying. If you go to a sushi restaurant where they send everything around on a belt, that's one way to get sushi. That's a common way, a kind of traditional way. And if you then go to a sushi restaurant and they serve it off the back of fat, naked men, that's a very different delivery process that you can't ignore it. You can say the sushi's the best you've ever had. It could be the most amazing sushi of all time, or at least comparable to the best you've had.
There could be a great sushi chef who's making it.
Yeah. It could be the guy.
A great respect for the art of sushi.
Yes. But you have to at least have to acknowledge that I took the California roll that I wanted off the back of a sweaty fat naked man. You have to at least say that. And I know
probably some butcher paper. I don't want to our metaphorical sushi, which I believe we're taking as the presentation of this. I think that it comes out as a better product than if it were dry.
I agree. Yep. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I'm not I'm not trying to say she's like a naked fat guy with sushi on her back. I'm not saying that. I'm just,
But for anybody who's like, "Oh, well, this is different than the Reddit stuff." I agree it is, but yet there are some troubling elements that are similar. And if you don't believe me saying it, believe the mother of the accused, of Adnan. I read an article in The Guardian about how the worst thing they find about this entire process, although they are excited that there are a lot of people who now believe that their son is innocent, is that, and this is a direct quote, you have thousands of people on Reddit trying to listen to every syllable to find out whether or not he's a psychopath. So you are introducing, and this is something that, like, in the first 6 or 7 episodes, I very much believed this is a true crime story. We're not going to get any kind of hard resolution as to who did it or who didn't do it. But the ending of this will be the ending, or this is not an investigation told week by week. This is a story told week by week, right? That's the premise of Serial. So in that, the central relationship in this story is between Sarah Koenig and the story of Adnan. So in the language of drama, the resolution would have to come from that changing. And right now, I think it would be safe to say, as a listener, that she is probably 60-40, maybe 65-40, or 65-35 in the camp that he might be innocent, right? Would that be a safe assumption?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And at the very least, the case that was used to convict him was not legit, which I think there's enough evidence to say that that is the case.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely fishy stuff. But that's the whole, this would be, I mean, this is the thing your brain is faced with, though, this entire ordeal, is that we are to think in our heads that this wouldn't even be a thing if there wasn't something to all this, because then why would there be even a thing? Why would there be a reporter digging up stuff and finding stuff out and making a whole show and taking the podcast world by storm? How would that even be happening if there wasn't something to it all? There has to be something to it. That part is troubling for me. Because and I'm doing it, mind you, I'm all in on it, but I'm also, it's a little troubling because I don't know. How do I know?
That case is it got problems.
Yeah.
The case that was used to convict him has problems, and you know, but all right, here's my other element of it, is that, like, this is a story. She's holding back information week by week to make each episode compelling. It's not like she came out on the first week and laid all her cards on the table and said, all right, this is what I know. This is what I think is kind of weird. These people are kind of odd. Like, she has almost, like that last episode with the defense attorney. You don't want to make big, solid, super firm points during when you're making your case.
Yeah.
You wait until your final, I don't know, testimony. What is it called?
Final. Hold on. You say the judge. I'm trying to think of a movie. Judge always says, "Counselor, your final state.
Final fantasy.
Statement.
Your final fantasy." No, there's a word for it. It's not statement. It's crap. Anyway,
countdown.
Final countdown. That's it.
Closing arguments.
That's it. Closing arguments.
Thank you, Jackalope.
Closing arguments to kind of totally tie everything in a bow and tell people exactly what you think.
Yeah.
Through the first several episodes, that's what I felt this was. I thought that she was going to make, all these kind of loose arguments, but each time she was going to reveal a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. But at the time that she started recording the first episode, she was playing the part of her at the beginning of all of this. And that by the end of it, since this is a story, it is a dramatically told version of an investigation. It's not a real investigation. In the podcast is not. She conducted one. I do believe she conducted a real investigation. But this presentation is artifice. That we would get at the end her saying, oh, I believe that this is, I believe that there is definitive case that he should, get a retrial. Or I believe that there was that one. What I was expecting is the last episode would be, then there's the one thing I'm not telling you. And the one thing that made me stop looking into this. And the one thing that made me realize that this was ready to present as opposed to ready to keep investigating. And that is,
right.
And
whatever.
So that's what I think.
Yeah.
However,
yeah.
I do believe that now, like when I was listening to it, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to have an ending. And I think I know what the ending is.
Yeah.
Then the more it got into it and the more I saw the reaction, like, I don't know how she can't blue ball the audience. Because if she says this dude is guilty and I looked into it and I gave it a really, really, really hard look and I don't think this dude is innocent, I mean, she's going to be fairly devastating to very sympathetic characters in this drama. And if she doesn't, then she's effectively looking, I mean, she's putting a gigantic pall on the J guy.
Yeah.
Because if you were to say that this dude didn't do it, then you are at the very least insinuating that the J kid had a hand in it.
Yeah,
if
at the least.
Himself, he's a murderer roaming free.
Yeah, see, this is so you've just burned down the candle to the point of the whole thing. I think you said last week, which is and here's something that punctuates this. So I'll explain what I was going to say in a second. But I got somebody sent me a link to a post that the victim's little brother wrote, and he says this. He says, blah, blah, blah. When I found out there was a subreddit for this, he put this up on Reddit. I had to do an AMA.
By the way, people are trying to solve the murder.
Yeah.
The exact same thing is happening.
Yeah, Reddit's doing it again.
In the Boston bombing, happening right now.
Yeah. He says, to me, this is all just real life. To you listeners, it's another murder mystery, a crime drama, another episode of CSI. You weren't there to see your mom crying every night, having an actual heart attack when she got the news that the body was found, going to court almost every day, and seeing your mom weeping, crying, and fainting. You don't know what we went through, especially to those who are demanding our family respond and having a meetup. You guys are disgusting. Shame on you. I pray that you won't have to go through what we went through and have your story blasted to 5 million listeners. It's easy to forget, right? Because time has not a lot of time has passed for this thing. There's still victims involved. And in this case, what you were just saying a minute ago, I think is an important thing, which is if the insinuation is that if he didn't do it, well, then Jay did, that's a big deal. If he did or didn't do it, it's a big deal. It's a big deal in that, well, justice should be done. If he didn't do it, are we just creating another witch hunt? Like, it is. There are a lot of moral questions about this. Well, I'm a huge fan of the show, and I think it's really important to explain when we talk about it on this show, and like we did last week. This isn't just bashing. This isn't just take the popular zeitgeist and pee on it. It's just that you have to start. We can't get away with just these aren't 1940s radio dramas anymore. Like, we live in a different time, and it's very exposing, and it's very pinpointed, and it's also has this strange effect of taking away the victimization that's involved with the entire thing, the person that was murdered, the family affected, all that kind of stuff. It just kind of takes it away and makes us all a bunch of freaking Columbos, you know? And it's that part of it is a little disconcerting for me.
No matter what, if you believe that the J kid might not be a murderer or an accomplice to murder, more so than he admitted to being, then right now, if you, I don't know his full name, but I'm sure if you were to look up his full name, which I'm sure exists on the internet.
I'm sure Reddit has sussed it out.
Mm-hmm. If you were to Google it, I'll bet you this comes up first. And that dude is a work-a-day ham and egger. He is just, taking what he's given because he's working for a living. And if he tries to get a new job, let's say ironically at a Best Buy, and somebody Googles the new prospective employer, Googles that dude's name, there's probably a lot of sites that say, oh, by the way, he probably murdered this lady at a Best Buy. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's now. That's right now. Like, if you go on, I was on that serial Reddit, and like one of the things is this post is assuming that Jay acted alone.
Yeah.
Which, in terms of breaking down this story, that's legitimate. But these are real people. And like we can't lose sight of that.
But this wouldn't be, imagine how not interesting this story would be if, just to play devil's advocate here, if this was Sarah Koenig going back to 1922 and a murder that was never solved, or a person that was convicted that now we believe there's evidence to come to light that he wasn't, or whatever. Let's say that that's the story being told week by week and brought to you by Mail Kimp, okay? Let's say that's what's happening.
Yeah.
That doesn't have the same pull, because part of what this story is them being able to talk to people who are alive and were there, and it was just 15 years ago, and like it's still fresh for everybody, except for that lawyer who died. But other than
not
that,
mention the fact that it's Veronica Mars meets The Wire.
Yeah, it kind of is, and it's in Baltimore.
A high school murder.
Yeah.
That is being investigated by Baltimore PD homicide cops who talk and act like the people in The Wire.
Yeah, it's a little, that part is weird.
So it is, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why this is as successful as it is. And all of these count. The fact that it really does, it is this weird, amazing true life blend of two very popular pop culture proven narrative elements.
Yeah.
The fact that it's nostalgia. I mean, listen, I was a freshman in high school when this story takes place.
Yeah. 99, was it?
99.
Yeah.
So the fact that, was it? No. Sophomore, junior. I graduated 01. Somebody else do the math.
Good Lord.
I
had a third kid in 01. Go ahead. Keep going.
Time moves fast, man. You don't stop to look around, you might miss things.
That's right. Mail Kimp.
If I'm to say that I don't appreciate this because it is on some level a walk down memory lane, I'm lying to you.
Right.
You know, that it's this nostalgia element. This is a true life murder story that combines elements of two of my favorite television shows that also has logical and relevant reasons to play Casey and JoJo's All My Life in the center of it, which was very popular when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And makes me remember things about when people would play Casey and JoJo's All My Life in my high school situations.
Yeah.
You know? And who was the kind of girl that would call that her favorite song that I knew back in high school.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden I'm drawing my own correlations of, this would be the guy that I would think would be Jay in my high school, and this would be the girl that I would think would be Heyman, and this would be the person that I would think would be Adnan.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Mm-hmm. I had a really close friend who was a Muslim who had very strict Muslim parents who, and so now all of a sudden I'm investing my own self into this story. Mm-hmm. And that creates for incredibly engrossing podcasting.
Absolutely.
Tells a narrative that might not match up with how these actual humans want to live their life.
Sure. Or can live their lives in the aftermath of said tragedy, for sure. I don't even mind. Here's what I think happens. We're a very talkative generation. We're all online. Everybody's talking about stuff. We're digging into things. It is going to be natural that something that has some form of zeitgeist or phenomenon is going to pop, and we're all going to talk about it. And I think that's great. Don't have a problem with it. I don't even have a problem with the fact I was watching a documentary the other day about O.J. Simpson. The fact that became this one murder, a horrible murder, but this one murder became this nonstop media circus for as long as it did. When there are murders every day in L.A. and you don't hear a thing about those, not a single thing. So you have all these other compelling elements. Giant sports superstar falling completely from grace. How could it go so far? If the glove didn't fit, you must have quit. Blah, blah, blah. Like all of the things that people want in their story. That's what's being constructed here. Because for every Adnan case, there are 500 others just like it that she decided not to cover. And I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I just think it's important we see it for what it is, which is cherry-picked out of... Who had heard of this case before now? Mm-hmm. None of us.
Yeah, none of us.
Not a soul heard of this case. We had no idea what this would be anything. She found it. She brought it to light. There it is. I think it's just, I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm saying it needs to be acknowledged. Also, I don't even have a problem with Reddit doing what they're doing, except that I just found 4 articles that are trying to figure out whether or not the host of the show is Jewish or not. So,
because that's important.
Because that's so important.
We have to know. We need to know.
It's so important to the outcome that we will get on Thursday. Which,
it is
by the way,
beginning of Hanukkah.
Yeah. You found the missing link. Yeah, right. Candles, menorahs, menorah. What is it?
Menorah. Yes.
Menorah.
Let's light the menorah.
Anyway, Thursday we find out, right? This is it. It's the end.
The finale.
How do you think it ends? Do you think that we get her making some sort of pronouncement on what she believes in the case, or reveals evidence? Well, here's my question. Does she reveal evidence in the final episode that we have yet to know that would shape all of our opinions on the case?
I think it's... Okay, I'm torn because I think it is either that. Okay, because I think there's a strong possibility that that's what it is. And I'm not saying one direction or the other. I think it may be that, oh, he is guilty, or oh, he isn't, or something. Mm-hmm. But there'll be something she's been holding back the entire thing, because I don't think you do this many of these without that end game in mind. It's not like we're not going to get to the end and go, it's not going to be Capone's vault, dude.
Right. I think it's going to be the last words of the final episode. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I guarantee they didn't go through all this trouble and all this lead up to get to this point and not have a big thing to say. Okay, that I'm sure of. So it's either that, or they do a very well done This American Life professional level job at summing up the entire thing. Adnan's future, what prison life will be here for him, and when his next parole date is. Like, they will sew this up. Kind of, I hate to use the comparison of like Animal House, but you know how at the end of Animal House created this new trend of the end of movies, it would tell you where these fictional characters went in the future. What they're doing now. We may get something like that. It'll be really well crafted, but no real answers. So it is either going to be some major answer or no good answers. And instead just sort of a melancholy, well, isn't life weird, and boy, isn't it strange, and Jay still lives in so-and-so, and boy, what's going on with Jen and her family, this and that. You know, it's going to just kind of boil out. And that's what it'll be. So for me, that's my prediction. It's one of those two things, and I'm having a hard time picking which.
I believe there's evidence she hasn't told us, including, how about at the end of that last episode when she's like, oh, hey, by the way, you guys, you might have heard that there was an appeal that got picked up. Well, that's kind of true, but this is really an appeal based on the fact that he asked for a plea deal before the original trial, and it wasn't given to the prosecution.
Oh yeah, that kind of just went over my head at the time. Yeah.
How about that? How about when we're parsing every little bit of motivation? The fact that he asked for a plea deal before the original trial, and he's like, and that might seem a little weird, but here he is now to talk about why getting a plea deal is a good idea. Yeah, you learn that in prison.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The whole thing. I don't know.
All right, so here's Justin's opinion. He's
on this. Hold on. On this,
anybody else's opinion, he's guilty.
On this final episode of Justin Tells Us What He Thinks. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Listen, I'm not gonna string you along like Sarah Koenig. I think he's guilty, and I think it's what we have seen is the most sympathetic view of this case in his defense that we can.
Yeah.
Because if we are to say that he did not do it, it only opens up a wider array, a galaxy of more questions. Because you could, if Jay didn't lead the cops to that car, you could even go serial killer.
Right.
But Jay led them to that car. And that means either he did it or somebody else helped him do it. And at that point, you've got a whole nother level of like motivation and question. So I think he's guilty.
Yeah.
That's my personal belief. And that's just what I have to say.
I'm not convinced you're wrong. I know a lot of people hope he's not, because this is what the story is. The narrative wants you to root for the underdog, and in this case, that's him. Again, these are all part of the problems of the human condition. We want a good story, and that's what we're being given. And I'm enjoying the hell out of it. In the end, you're probably, who knows if you're right. Brian, do you have a pick? What do you think?
Well, I kind of said it earlier that I think it's going to end with, the kind of plink plunk music and the, I guess we'll never know. It tends to lean itself towards this way, but I guess we'll never know.
Because they can't really know.
That's not the case.
They can't really know, can they, in the end? Can they?
Well, sure. I mean, the guy can ultimately, they could know if he's guilty by him just confessing, saying, okay, all right, I did it.
Well, from a legal standpoint, let's say that she has a piece of evidence that exonerates him. Okay, let's say that somehow got in her possession, and that's why this all took off. She walked into Ira Glass's office and said, "Ira," and he said, "Act 1, I answer your question.
Come on in.
Yeah, come on in. Act 2, you tell me what."
Please have a seat.
So she comes in there. I love your Ira Glass. It is one of my favorite things you do. Anyway, she goes in there. And she says, look, I've got this thing. This could be huge. Let's build a story around it, and then we drop the bomb on the final episode. Let's say that that's a possibility here. That's not legally good.
No. I'm just going to sit on this for the fun of the media.
Yeah.
And when it's time, I'll release this information, but only after I've had a chance to get some listenership. Exactly.
And she's not going to, there's no way that they do that. So if you're waiting for that, fine listeners, you're not going to get that.
Probably not going to happen. Yeah, no. I'm not nearly as far as you guys are into this. I'm 2 episodes in, so I've got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, let me know what you think. Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
I said that I would have way more of a problem with that if she had some bombshell evidence, or like Jay had told her.
By the way, she's still alive and she's here on the show.
I killed her and I got off scot-free. Not you or any of your public radio monkeys will ever find me. And then disappeared into a cloud of smoke.
Yeah.
That would be really weird if she saved that for the finale.
Yeah, I don't know how you can. I just don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. And that is part of the compelling thing here, is nobody freaking knows. So when Thursday comes, I've never had a podcast end the way this last one did last Thursday when it said, and you'll hear more, or and that'll be on the final episode of Serial. Blink, 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 blink. And you're like, what? That you're not supposed to evoke that kind of emotion out of me, iPod. You're not supposed to bring this out of me. I was so like, oh, I've never been so pins and needles.
My final Serial question: if this is a blue ball scenario on Thursday, does it damage the show for you?
Yes. Let me put it this way. I actually have a lot of faith that they're going to do something that will be satisfactory for me, because they're good at this. They often do this. So it's not, I don't expect to be completely screwed. And not that my needs are important here, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I'm going to come away going, dude, you strung us on for so long and that was the end. Like, I'm not going to feel like that.
I think that I should probably be pretty glad that I have waited, because based on people's reactions, and I'm going to try and be as spoiler-free, looking at Twitter and stuff after Thursday, it's going to determine whether or not I binge watch the remaining, 8 episodes or however many I have left. How many are there total?
12 or something.
12. So I'm like 2 in. So I've got 9 episodes, and I'll decide after I see the people's reactions on Twitter whether or not I binge watch or binge.
That's actually a good idea. You don't want to be.
It is all worth listening. It is all worth listening.
I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes, and if it weren't for just a lack of time, I would have been.
It's super compelling. It's super compelling.
They are totally exceptional, and really the only criticism I would have is that the last like 2 or 3 episodes are obviously bearing the weight of the fact that it's an extraordinarily successful podcast and that people are writing her, and so it becomes a slightly more. We are doing this we are doing an investigation live, and not so much the story element.
You can tell there's some edits that came later. Like, even if some of the stuff was already done, she's inserting things like that plea deal and all that. So
sure.
Well, that and like the payphone thing.
Oh, right.
Which is important, but I think if placed in the larger context of all the other stuff she had, she probably would have presented that information differently than just having a random out of context. Hey, let's talk about this, and also let me get a phone interview just so you can prove that this one lady says that there was never a payphone there.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll talk again maybe in the final episode of Jury Talk Serial coming up next week, where we'll also have the blink, blink, blink music.
Our executive producer is Scott Johnson. Brian Ibbett helped by listening to the first 2 episodes.
I want to thank
thanks to the 4 people that emailed Scott really angrily about how I was talking about the show without listening to it.
Yeah. And MailChimp.
MailChimp, which I used to send out the email that the new Night Attack album is available today.
Yay! Sweet transition. People can get that now. Go. Get it.
No, don't go. Don't go now.
Oh.
It's $20 because CD Baby apparently could not get this price thing right. We are begging and pleading for them to get the price thing right. However, at 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon Pacific, hopefully it'll be fixed and you guys will all be able to buy it. We want to try and have everybody buy this album at the same time, and we'll see as hard as we can push it to push it up the iTunes charts and Billboard to see whether or not we can summit our 3rd album at #1 on the Billboard comedy charts. So, thank you guys. If you want to go check it out, it's nightattack.tv/album is where you'll find links to it, as well as a track listing and a little teaser. I am super proud of it. It's our longest album ever. It has Bonnie the Invisible Wife talking about her perfect strip club. OMG Chad Johnson telling really embarrassing personal secrets in relation to a stop in an Indonesian massage parlor that goes hilariously awry.
Oh, wow.
And Veronica Belmont.
Oh, goodness.
My fellow TMS contributor.
Yeah.
In a way that you would never, you've never heard her talk before. It is just I am so proud of that track. I think it's so funny. I'm so proud of Veronica because it is dirty comedy the way I very much like it. It is very funny. And there are visuals in those tracks that will scar your shopping for groceries forevermore.
All right.
We're going to go to the grocery store the same way again.
Oh my gosh, this is such a teaser. I feel like there should blink, blink at the end of that as well.
Yeah. So what's the date again that people should buy this, or do we know yet?
Today, we just we're
just got to get the pricing fixed
for CD Baby to correct the price in iTunes.
Yeah, weirdos.
It's we gave it to them a while ago, and they assured us that we would not have launch problems, and we are still 3 hours to launch.
Yeah.
So I have faith in them.
Well, let's all say a small prayer to Zeus that all will be well. Justin Robert Young, Justin R. Young on Twitter. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye now.
See you, Jerry.
All right, well, there's the serial update. Our website is frogpants.com/TMS. Our email is themorningstream@gmail.com. And on Twitter, you can follow us at Coverville, Scott Johnson, and Morning Stream. Tomorrow, Tom Merritt will be here, Nicole Spag, and the usual Wednesday madness. I think that's going to do it for us.
You kind of ended that like an NPR thing.
It was. It was very, well, you know, I'm getting much, I'm
Our
learning.
Our website is handled by Lenora Jones. I
use MailChimp. Anyway. So let's get out of here. What do you got for me for music? Anything?
I've got one more song, and I kind of teased that this would kind of have there'd be a lot of heavy metal this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to disappoint. This is a request going out to Lisa, Says, Dear C-3PO and R2-D2, I know this request may be a bit late, but on the 14th of December, it will be my 39th year on this rock we call home. Well, your request was late, so my playing it was late. I've been a massive Iron Maiden fan since my teens, and I would love it if you would play a cover of either their song Power Slave or Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. If a cover of neither is available, then any other Maiden Brian thinks would be great. Could do this on either one of your Thursday shows or on the following week, as my birthday falls on Sunday. Keep up the cool show, bros. Lisa.
Nice.
Well, all of the Power Slave and Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner covers I could find sounded just like the originals. So I wanted something that sounded very, very different, and I'm hoping that I found it. This is this combines your heavy metal with your ska. This is Big D and the Kids Table, a favorite of Dill's, by the way. I think Dill's might have even recommended these guys to me a while back. This is from the 2000 album Metalliska, which as you can guess from the name, combines metal and ska into some great music. This is Iron Maiden's Iron Maiden, covered by Big D and the Kids Table. Their self-titled song.
I love the name of that band, the Kids Table.
Big D and the Kids Table.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, here it is. Let's play it now. We'll be back tomorrow. Please come back, everyone. We'll see you then.